Hi, and welcome to the dinner agenda. This is Bo.
And this is Seela.
Hello, CeeLo.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, polar vortex and all, I'm not too bad. Actually, it feels a little warmer out today. The fact that I walked the dog last night and it was
hmm
snowing a little bit.
hmm
And I thought this is good because it's warm enough for
hmm
snow to come.
hmm
So, yeah,
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I'm not a fan.
So I have been in the house for 4 days straight. I have literally not stepped out the front door. Today I did. Today I actually
Same.
ventured into the actual office. Partly because it was a warmer day considering the polar vortex that we just went through. Like, I mean, we
Yeah.
we got where I'm located, it was minus 24 or 25, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
So same with you, CeeLo, in your part of the
With
town?
the wind chills. Yeah. With the wind
Yeah.
chills, it was very cold.
Yeah. So I
And
was
the
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No,
No,
no, no,
go.
no, no, no.
You. No, you.
Listen, don't do me like this. What the shit fuck?
Ugh. No, really, go.
Yeah, no, no,
Seriously.
no. All I was just gonna say was like, it was just so bloody cold. And then today we get to like -7 or whatever it was, -11, or I don't even know. And I'm like, oh, it's warm. Let me go out to work. But I have to say it was actually quite nice to be out in public. Because it was like 4 days of like nothing in the house. It was crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was good. Anyways, what were you gonna say?
yeah. I I was gonna say my dog doesn't like the polar vortex. She's
No.
actually not too bad in the cold, although because she's a cockapoo, she has hair and not fur, so I have to be careful how long we're out, but
hmm
generally, she is totally happy to go. She
hmm
doesn't mind the snow, she'll bounce around in the snow, all good.
Does
It's
she
the
get the little
salt.
snowballs on her
Yeah,
fur?
she gets little
Yeah.
snowballs on her legs and stuff, but
Oh,
it's the salt, like, as
yeah.
soon as it was mild and then everything froze,
Mhm.
the whole neighborhood has 8,000,000 pounds of salt on the sidewalks now,
Mhm,
which
mhm,
is great because you don't wanna slip,
mhm,
but that means I
mhm.
gotta put the boots on.
Yeah.
And so my dog, who's normally quite happy when I pick up the leash, now knows I pick up the leash and then we gotta put the boots on. So
Mhm,
she kind of runs and hides and then, like, lays on her back, like,
mhm.
"Don't do me like that, I don't wanna put those boots on."
That's
But
so
then
cute.
once the boots are on, she's fine again,
Then she's
so,
good, then she's good.
yeah. I'll have to record her moaning and groaning about the
I
boots because it's kinda funny. She's very vocal.
She is vocal. Oh my gosh, Ginger is, like, insanely vocal. It's hysterical. It's great.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
have to tell you, I went, so I think I was telling you in the summertime, I had been going with my cousin to the, yard sales, and I was like, "Oh my gosh," I was just having so much fun over the summer. Every weekend, it was like, "We're
yeah,
on a hunt for something." And so now
yeah.
that the weather has obviously cooled quite a bit, there's no really yard sales, but there are some estate sales, that
Oh,
yeah, my cousin comes across. So there was one, that was last weekend, and it was, in Oakville.
yeah.
So but it was in a
And
condo,
what is
like
it exactly? What's an estate?
oh,
Jesus, hold on, I dropped my water. Okay.
okay.
Okay, we're good.
Are you
Go on.
okay? Are you gonna live?
Yeah. I put my water bottle down and it tipped over, but we're good.
Okay. So, essentially, when people are moving, downsizing kind of thing, or, if they've passed away, if they're older, that kind of thing, and the house is getting sold, a lot of the times, if they don't need to take the contents of the house with them, they hire a company that will come in and itemize everything, price everything, list everything on the internet, whatever, and then they hold and host these estate sales. And so you come on
Okay, so
specific,
then you just walk through their house
yeah,
and everything's, like, got a price tag?
yeah, yeah. And if it doesn't have a
Hmm,
price tag, you
okay.
bring up what you're interested in, and then they will tell you how much it is, right? But
I
usually
wanna
there's
come with.
Sila, it's so much fun. You're gonna become addicted. It's honestly, it is so much fun.
Okay, I wanna
Yeah,
come with.
it is great. I've really got some, so you haven't been here to this house since I got these new oil paintings that I've now put on my I don't think you've been. Have you been? I don't know. Anyways, I'll have to show them to you, but they're beautiful. I mean, you get some really, really nice things at some
Yeah,
really phenomenal prices because they really wanna get rid of, they don't wanna have to take it with them. And one of the houses that we actually went to one time was Barbara McDougall. And I think she was some member of parliament for
Oh,
Canada. And I can't, I'm so bad with Canadian politics, but she was someone of note, of notoriety, essentially, right? Within the,
really?
yeah, and it was her house, and we didn't know until we actually got there. And she had some, oh goodness, did she ever have a closet full of designer clothes? She was an older woman,
Oh, really?
yeah, who had, I think she had passed away. But either that or I think she had passed away, yeah. But either that or she went into an old age home. I don't tomato, tomato, I don't know.
She wasn't fucking there, and that's
She
what
just
matters.
wasn't
You
there.
could buy her shit.
She's selling her fucking shit. That's all we need to know about. But she had great designer clothes there, designer bags there, and of course, none of the designer clothes fit me, but, I mean, it was great to see all this wonderful stuff. Her
Yeah, yeah.
house was fucking beautiful. It's nice just being able to, like, walk through these homes and
I
see
that's
how
the
they
part
live.
that would, like,
Yeah.
makes me interested is just walking through
So
someone
it's
else's
so
house
much fun,
kind
but
of.
and then there's, like, honestly, there's some, like, interesting good deals to be had, so it's a fun time, and I think you'd really like it. So I'll definitely let you know next time we go, and then you can tag
Hey.
along if you want. And so the one that we went to on I think it was Saturday, it was in a condo, which I've never done that before. Usually it's homes. So this was in a condo, and we thought, "Oh, okay, this will be interesting, right?" Like, because condos aren't
Yeah.
that big. I don't know. Anyways, it was a day out. So we drove over to Oakville, and the condo, like, it was just a big kerfuffle to get in because the condo board wouldn't
The
let the
security.
estate, well, no, not really. They just wouldn't let the estate people put up signs or anything. So people would show up and just not know where to go or what to do. So I actually ended up calling the estate company to say, "Hey, I'm at this location." They were like, "Yeah, we're here. We'll come right down and get you." And I think there were probably going to be some people who just thought, "Oh, it wasn't happening," and they just turned around and left, right? But
Oh.
anyways, we go in there, and they had some really interesting stuff. So, like, there was actually a bottle of liquor that they had that's made from maple sap from Quebec. So I bought that just to try it because I'm like, I don't know, sounds kind of interesting. Is
What
it?
kind of was it like a liqueur?
I
Like a
think
maple
so.
liqueur, or was it like a
Mm,
whiskey or something?
I don't know. I can't tell. I'll have to.
You just
It
bought it
doesn't
and
say.
said,
Well, it
"I'm
doesn't
gonna put
say
it on my
exactly.
ice cream."
Yeah, it doesn't say exactly. Listen, it doesn't say exactly what it is, but it does say on the thing made with maple sap from Quebec or
Okay.
something like that. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. So we'll try it. Dave and I will try it. I'll get him to take the first sip just in case it's like really
Just in case it's, like, totally shitty.
So I got that. And then I just did something stupid. And don't ask me why I did it. Okay, they had a brand new um, electronic photo frame. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Those,
yeah.
okay. So
Like, Skyframe? I don't know, what's it called?
I don't know.
It is something.
You plug it in and the
Yeah,
pictures flow.
you
Okay.
put pictures. Okay.
Okay. So I got one a couple of years ago from a very good friend of mine who, I don't know if I told you the story, but she's a jokester, right? And
Yeah.
she has the best bedhead in the entire world. Like, when this girl wakes up, her hair is like, like, it's like literally, and it's like in
Okay.
different designs that you would never even think that hair could actually, stand up. And
Okay.
so that's her thing. So, anyways, I would always make fun of her bedhead, and she was kind of like, I don't give a shit about it. We'd wake up, let's say on New Year's Day, she'd have her bedhead. She'd walk into the restaurant with her bedhead and not care, right? And it's like, okay, great.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So for Christmas, a couple of years ago, she bought Dave and I this electronic frame. I keep looking over here because that's where it is. She bought
Yeah.
us this electronic frame, but what she did is she took the code. So she opened it up, she set it up, and then she took the code, and she granted me access to publish pictures on it so I could put some of my own pictures on it. But she had control of the frame. So she can upload pictures at any point in time. So she, like, once a month, once every couple months, I get this. ding, and there's, like, this new
A
picture,
new photo.
and I look over, and it's a new picture of her bedhead, or it's like and this thing is in my dining room, so when we have guests
Oh,
over,
that's funny.
the pictures are coming through, and you can see her in this bedhead, and it's fucking hysterical. Anyways,
Oh, that's funny.
this estate sale had one of those frames, those electronic frames, brand new, unopened, still in the plastic wrap and everything, and they were selling it for $5, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this frame, I love this frame that we have at home. I need to buy it." And so I bought it for $5, and then I get it home and I'm like, "Why did I do that? I don't need 2. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Do you want it?"
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll buy it from you.
Yeah, yeah, I want 5 fucking dollars.
350, 350.
No, I want a circles and square m
Oh,
McCruffin or whatever it's called, a Cruffin?
Cruffin.
Cruffin. That's what I
Mm.
want.
Okay, done.
Num,
Deal.
num, num, num,
Shake
num,
on
num.
it.
Okay, alright,
I
done.
keep seeing those frames advertised,
They're
and I'm
great.
like, I
They're
love
great.
the idea of it, and
Yeah.
I feel like every year at Christmas time, I say to Mel, I'm like, "We should get one for your mom, like, your mom would totally like
Yeah.
that," and she's
Yeah.
like, "No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't like that." I'm like, and I think it's because I like the idea
Yeah.
of it. I like the idea of being able to change it up and put new photos
Yeah.
on it or
Yeah, it's
yeah,
phenomenal, and, like, you can upload photos from anywhere, really, so, like, if you're on
yeah,
vacation and the thing that I like about it is, like, when you are kinda sitting here and you see some of those pictures go by, it's like it's just beautiful to see these, like,
yeah,
memories that pop up, and they give me smiles, and, so
yeah.
it's a good thing. So, okay, sorry, alright, it's right over here, I will,
Done. Sold.
okay, done, done, sold for a cruffin.
So it's a price tag situation. It's not like an auction.
Yes, no,
It's
it's
not
not an
like you have
option.
to bid on it. Okay.
No,
Okay,
no, no, no,
that's
it's not an
good.
option. But,
Okay, done.
it's so much fun, CeeLo. I love these things so much. It's just and again, I think it's not necessarily the shopping part for me or the finding the deal thing for me. For
Yeah.
me, it's like, "Ooh, I get to go into somebody's home and look around and see how they've decorated, what they've got, what they" you know what I mean? Like, and then every once in a while, you're like, "Oh, I've fallen in love with
Buy.
this thing." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. What
And who do you go with? Your cousin?
usually my cousin, yeah, usually my
Okay,
cousin,
cool.
yeah. She's the
Okay.
one who
Count me in.
she does some side stuff where she hunts around for deals and resells things, and she has, like, a
Yeah,
bit of a business going on, so she does it a little bit more on the professional side. So she finds
yeah.
these places, and I tend to just tag along and, just for the shits and giggles of it, and, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. What I would like to try, though, is an actual auction. I don't know if I've been to an actual Have you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Only,
you
only, only, only 5.
yeah, so
You like that? Mhm.
yeah, when did you go? Like, were you a kid or, like, was that with your dad?
Yeah,
Because your dad used to go, right?
yeah. My
Okay.
dad used to go to auctions, in particular, like, farm auctions out in the KW area,
Yeah.
and they had auctioneers that would do all the
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I remember that as a kid, and it was always fun. I'm like, "I'd like to go to that." But it would be
Yeah.
like the ones that they went to were kind of like an estate sale where it could have been farming stuff or farming equipment,
Yeah.
but it was also,
Mhm.
stuff from the house as well that they were selling, so,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah. Yeah, I'd
Okay,
go.
we have to go. We have to find one. I'd like to experience that. What I'd love to experience is, which I don't know how you do this, but, I'm sure that they also have those ones where, like, I don't know, wealthy people go to bid on, like, very expensive things like 100,000
Mm.
or $1,000,000 art pieces, or
Oh, yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you love to just sit there and watch that shit go on? I would.
I don't know. I
You don't
feel like
know?
it would be out of my spending limit. It would be out of my
Well,
realm. You know
please,
what I
of course,
mean?
you're
And
going for
so
the
then it would be
entertainment of
less
it.
yeah, it would be less
That's
interesting,
fine.
but
Okay.
it's fun to watch other people spend a lot of money. I guess you're
It is.
right there for
Sure.
sure.
Okay, but let's try to see if we can actually find an auction that
Okay.
has stuff that we can actually go to and,
Yes.
try that out. Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
As you were talking about that, I was thinking that, I saw my brother last night,
Mhm.
and, the first thing he said to me, he's like, We haven't had to pick up, too much from the auction place lately for all the stuff that Mel's been bidding on."
Oh, that's
And
so
I'm like,
funny.
"Yeah, don't bring it up. Don't remind her. Don't, like,
Has Mel calmed down a
refresh."
little bit from the online auctioning?
She has, but we did buy and I feel like Iz and I are, on our own and this weekend, and so we should definitely try it out. She bought a Ninja Creamy.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a Ninja blender that makes ice cream and things like that.
Oh, well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. So
Mm,
she bought that. It was one of the Santa presents to the
that actually
family.
sounds good. So,
Mhm.
I happen to have my phone with me. Should I be texting her to say, "Hey,
No,
online"
no,
so
definitely not.
what do I get if I don't text her? How do you bribe me to
$10 $10 for the frame.
No, I'm giving you the frame. You don't have to do that. You've already
No,
got my
I'm giving you more money than you paid for it. That's your bribe.
No, it's not worth it for me. I'd much rather see the torture happen,
No.
but okay.
It's safe. She's sidetracked. She's in Michigan at a hockey tournament with buddies, so
Did she drive there?
yeah,
And when does she come back?
Sunday night.
Oh, shit. So then it'll be after this airs, right? Oh, no.
No, this
This
is
is
next
gonna
week.
air. Okay, I'm gonna ask her if she can listen to
No,
this
no,
episode
don't do
specifically.
it. Stop it.
Oh, Melanie.
No, no, no. We don't need anything from the auction. In fact, I meant to tell you about this. I think I put it on our list at one point.
What?
I watched, a Netflix documentary called Buy Now: The Shopping Conspiracy.
Oh,
Have you watched it?
no, I've never even heard of it.
It was pretty interesting because it was about like, I think I had at one point jotted down, we should talk about, like, the whole no buy movement, and, we talked
Yeah.
already once about resolutions, and it's like, we don't need anything. We don't need anything other than groceries. We
Mhm.
shouldn't be buying anything. We shouldn't be spending money that is better put to other uses, etcetera. Anyways, a few weeks ago, I'd watched this, documentary
Mhm.
and it talks about basically the marketing that's out there to get you obviously to buy stuff,
Mhm.
but that, it talked about where stuff goes to die, what happens to things that you think are being, recycled, like old monitors and TVs and stuff, and how unsafe that is, and that
Why?
it's not actually recycled. Well,
Sorry, why
they're
is that
like
unsafe?
you go to because it has the chemicals and shit inside the monitor, right? And
Oh.
so you can't put it out with your garbage, you take it to a place that says, "Oh, we safely recycle your electronics." You drop it off there, and this one guy put, like, tags inside of it to see where it actually goes,
Mhm.
and it was, like, going to some place in the Philippines where they have workers there that are
Oh, jeez.
dismantling? Is that a word?
They're
No, dismantling?
dismantling the workers?
Yeah, the monitor, right? So take off
Oh,
the
they're dismantling
back and
okay,
take
yeah.
off all the
Oh, but
pieces,
they're
right?
doing it by hand,
And
right? So, like, they're
they're
have
doing it by
Ah.
hand. They don't have, like, the security or protection that
Mhm.
they should have. Like, it's bad news, that kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
So, sorry, what is
And the
this
other
called? Bad buy?
it
Bad sh bad
no, it's called Buy Now: The Shopping Conspiracy.
Okay, I'm gonna mark this
I
down. I
like to
wanna
think conspiracy like that, have you noticed?
Yeah,
It's
you
not
do.
just conspiracy, it's conspiracy.
That's okay. Okay.
Um, and how, like, years and years ago, the maker of the light bulbs, they test them out and they're like, "Oh, these light bulbs are so awesome, they're gonna last for 2,500 hours."
Yeah, yeah.
And they originally did, and then the makers of the light bulbs are like, "Yeah, but then people are buying them less, so let's make them only last 1,000 hours, and then we have more business." And so that I mean, now, if you have a 20-year-old washer or dryer, keep it,
I know,
fix it,
I
because
know,
it's gonna last longer than buying something new because they
I know.
don't make them like they used to.
It's
Like,
true.
that whole saying is total truth.
It is true. My parents had a freezer that was 60 years old,
Oh my god.
and it still fucking runs. We actually sold it when my mom sold her house, and somebody bought it because that thing
Yeah,
was like, I mean, it was still going. It was still perfect. It
yeah.
was one of those big, huge, chest freezers, you know? So,
Yeah.
same with their washer and dryer, all of that stuff. And, you know, I think my cousin still has a fridge from like 1982 or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? In her
Yeah.
basement, you
Yeah.
know? And it's
Yeah.
still going. You're right though. They do not make things the way that they used to because,
Yeah.
you know, times have changed.
Yeah.
And
It
I don't like it. I
No, I don't
feel
like it either.
so manipulated by that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, and the amount of then stuff you end up having to throw in the trash,
Yeah,
right? That
yeah.
doesn't get disposed of. It talk in the doc, they talk a lot about the fact that companies are now purposely making things difficult to repair or hard to access to be able to fix or replace
Oh, yeah,
parts,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah. That happened to us
Uh,
not too long ago with that coffee machine that we bought, the espresso maker, the espresso machine.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know? Yeah,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, there's a warranty on it. However, what they don't say is that the warranty doesn't cover the parts that usually break down the most, and then you
yeah,
also have to ship it to their one site in Montreal that will do the
yeah,
fixing. You can't bring it, and it's such a heavy unit, and you've gotta pay for that shipping there and pay for that shipping back. So you're spending, like, you know, $800 on shipping costs. Like, it doesn't, and
yeah.
then you gotta pay for the part to be fixed.
I
It's like,
know.
"Fuck you. I'm
You're
just
like,
gonna go buy a
"Forget
new
it, it
thing,
makes
you
no
assholes,
sense."
and it's not gonna be your
There was,
brand."
a former, executive, I think he was from Adidas. I think he
Mhm,
was an Adidas guy, and he was talking about the fact that, consumers feel like it's on them to be responsible, recycle stuff, make sure
mhm.
your garbage goes in all the right bins, all that stuff, but, I mean, what it comes down to is that companies need to think about what the end of life solution is for the products that they're making.
Yeah,
Right,
agreed.
and what does that look like? And so if companies are doing that, then there's less on the consumer because the consumer is not necessarily gonna have the same amount of impact as a company would. And I'm like, "Yes, 100%, that makes sense." So if
Mhm.
I'm buying a new pair of sneakers from Nike every 6 months, let's say I'm a runner and I just wear them out, okay? Hypothetical.
Oh my gosh, are we playing make believe again?
We are playing make believe,
Can I
and I get a
can I
new
be
pair every
skinny and
6 months,
blonde?
then, like, what's the plan for those sneakers? How
Yeah,
are they
yeah.
reused or recycled or upcycled, or what does that look like?
Mhm.
And so, like, if I could then take those sneakers back to the store and they fix them up and donate them, or they have a way to be able to recycle some of the materials, or, like,
Yeah.
companies should be doing that for us,
So,
but
it's funny that you
yeah,
say that, CeeLo.
it was interesting.
I'd have to really look into exactly what happened with this, but Sleep Country Canada, they have
Sleep and sleep
something ex
Canada. I know,
yeah.
I can't,
Why
I'm
buy a
sorry.
mattress anywhere else?
Yeah.
But, they have some kind of program where, and I actually took advantage of it, a couple of years ago. They were at the, home show, in the city, in the downtown Toronto.
Yeah,
And, so they were there at the home show and they were kinda doing their thing, and my husband and I had bought a mattress from them, maybe 5 years prior, 4 years prior, something like
yeah.
that, which was fine, but it was one of the bed units that, it kind of went up, like, you can move it up, it's
Mhm.
electronic, you can move them up or whatever. Anyways, there was, they had this Tempur-Pedic mattress that was there that I went and laid on, and oh my god, CeeLo, it was like heaven, heaven.
Yeah,
This mattress was the most comfortable thing I've ever experienced. I instantly fell in love with it, but then I was like, "Well, I can't because my mattress isn't old enough to change it." They said, "We'll exchange
yeah.
it for you." I'm like, "What?" They said, "Yeah, we'll exchange it. We'll come and pick it up. We'll exchange it. We'll either donate the mattress or, you know, refurbish it for some other, you know, purpose or whatever. And then we give you a portion of the cost of what you paid and you can apply that to a new mattress." And I'm like, "Done, sold, done." And they did.
Fantastic. Now the ticket
But
is
I
here's
don't,
the
yeah,
thing,
I know.
we should have put a tag in that mattress to see
Yes.
what exactly happened to it, or
Yes.
if it was shipped to some third world garbage pile, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because
But
that's not what you were expecting. You're thinking, "Oh my god, they're gonna take this, they're gonna
donate it to a
donate it
shelter.
or reuse it or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
amazing, like, I feel good about my
Yeah.
purchase, that's
Yeah.
their job to get you to buy the new one,
Yeah.
but then are they actually fulfilling that? Like, the next time
So
some company says that to me, now I know, I'm gonna be like, "Tell me exactly what you're doing with this."
yeah,
Like, I wanna know
exactly.
exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, part of and I agree with what you're saying. It's like I didn't think at that time to ask those questions, but now that we're talking, that is definitely something that I would ask.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I have to think logically, there has to be some type of benefit to the company saying that we will buy back your old mattress and you can apply that to the cost of the new
Yeah.
one. They have to be getting something from that, and I would think that by donating it and getting a tax break is where they may come on, like, maybe the incentive for them to I have no idea. I don't know.
I think I am pessimistic. I'm normally very
Yes,
optimistic, but
you
I'm
are. Yeah.
pessimistic on
Yeah.
this. Like, I think that companies are doing that, or the sales guy who's selling you the new one is saying that to you to get you to buy the new one, period,
But you are getting it
right?
at a discount, at a
A
significant
fan
discount.
fantastic, and you still bought the mattress. And
I
that
don't regret
sales
it. It's
guy, I
beautiful
bet
and
you if you
comfortable.
question him, he
Mhm.
wouldn't know exactly what happens to the old one. Like, the sales presh
Yeah.
car salesman, okay? Car
I don't like car
salesman.
salesmen. I would never date a car salesman.
They're Mel's been doing a bit of car shopping lately, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Wow, I went to this dealership and I chatted with this salesperson and they said all these things like, 'That's just so good, blah, blah.'" I'm like,
Got great
"That's their
tits.
fucking
That's what they
job.
said.
That's their job." Right? Like, they're supposed to make you feel comfortable. They're supposed to make you feel good. Like, it's a psychological game.
Of course it
And
is.
why the fuck do we have to negotiate to buy a car? Why
Yeah.
can't it be like you go into the grocery store and do you want these bananas for 4.99 or these organic ones for 6.99?
You
And then
know,
you fucking buy it and you're done.
it's
Why
true.
has that industry not changed
I
in so long?
I don't know, but if you think about it, there was a car, called a Saturn, which you had at
Saturn.
one
Yeah,
point,
Saturn did it.
and that was their philosophy, and there was no negotiating. The price was the price regardless of who you were or where
Loved
it was
it.
being stored. Yeah, but the thing is that
Bought
company
one.
didn't last, right? Or that car didn't
No.
last. So, I mean,
That was a good
obviously
car. I
I
love
know you
that car. That was
know
like
you
my
like that
first
car.
car.
I know. I remember that car. I do. But
Yeah.
okay,
Remember
but
that little third car? Anyway,
I do. I do. That
we
was
digress.
yeah, no, no, no. That was a good car. But your brother-in-law deals with in the car industry and he
Yeah.
doesn't feel schmarmy to me. He seems like a very nice person, very nice guy, but most of the car salesmen that I meet are like, "Oh, you're so schmarmy." I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you 100%. I can't deal. I can't tolerate them.
No. No.
Yeah.
So, don't let
My
is
brother-in-law
car
works
salesman.
for like, he used to be in car sales, now he's with the head office
Yeah.
crew, and he totally gets it,
Yeah.
and he's developed, like, a network of friendlies in the biz that he'll refer us to if we're looking, and it's amazing, and it
That's good.
helps.
Actually,
Like,
that's
yeah,
that's good. He's got a non-schmarmy list.
he's got a non-schmarmy list,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that leads me to ask you, speaking about all this
Yes.
buying and stuff, have you heard about what happened with Amazon in Canada this week?
They're pulling out of Quebec.
Yeah, but did you hear the whole story?
No.
Okay. So they have 1,700 employees in this Quebec location, right?
Yeah, and is it like a warehouse
Yeah.
distribution
Like
center?
a
Okay,
big
okay.
yeah, it's yeah. And so like and it's huge. I mean, Amazon itself is just fucking huge, right? Like it's just, it's everywhere and everything. But
Yeah,
they had this large site there, and the employees there had just become unionized. So someone had brought the union in, they had just become
mm,
unionized, it just became official, and then guess what? Amazon
bye.
said, "Oh, we're closing this facility. We don't need it anymore. We're going to open it in I don't know where." So the news and everybody's first reaction was, yeah, bull fucking shit. You're doing that because you don't want to have to deal with unionized employees, because that
Mhm.
means that you actually have to follow some laws, like they have to have breaks and they have to be
Oh my
paid and
god.
compensated
I
for. Mhm.
You
What?
those laws apply whether you're part of a union or not. You have to
No.
have so many hours or
Listen.
part-time, full-time. You have to have breaks. You have
s-
to have
First
those are employment laws.
your
Doesn't matter if you're union.
No, no, no. You are so trusting and innocent. Absolutely fucking not. I say, yeah, those laws are on paper, just like the computer people who take your old computers and say that they're doing something with them. Okay. But
Eh.
if you really think about it, CeeLo, I mean, I'm sure you've heard stories from people. Uh, the employees, like, yes, they've got laws to try to protect those employees, but how many times do those employees fully feel protected? There is always some kind of red tape. There is always some kind of, way around certain things. And that is just the way life is, unfortunately. I I don't believe that there are full protection rights for employees. I think for the most part, if you are targeted for some reason in some way, shape, or form for something that is unjust, you might get lucky and have great support, but the majority of times you end up, being scapegoated out, and you've just got to start someplace else, and that's just the way that it goes. So I don't know, maybe I'm being pessimistic now, but don't tell me for one fucking second that Amazon is all of a sudden deciding to shut that thing down just as their employees become unionized. The union brings a lot more headaches, CeeLo, than regular employee laws. So you've got employee laws, but then you've also
Well,
got
because you
union policy that has to
yeah,
be followed. There's seniority.
100%.
You can't get rid of people that have been there for X amount of years. You have to get rid of the last one on board. No matter how shitty that one up at the top who's been there for 23 years is, you're getting rid of the really good resource that's been there for 5 years because they were lower on the totem pole in terms of their
Yeah,
seniority. So I mean, there's a lot of crap that comes along with unions that I guess the company doesn't want to have to deal with. And there's also certain premiums and
yeah,
things that I don't know. I don't buy that they
yeah.
just decided
I
to.
I guess I hear your point on that, in that not all companies, whether there's fair employment laws in Canada or in the province, that all companies are following them. And I agree with you that having a union does offer up additional protection, but like the whole idea of a union and why unions were created long before we had these
Hmm.
equitable rules and employment laws that companies are supposed to be following and yada yada yada, right?
Hmm.
And so the idea that now I'm part of a union and so it's harder to fire me if I'm like a shitty worker, like I as a in a company, I'd want to be able to fire someone who's a shitty worker
I know, but you
on
can't.
the up and up,
Yeah.
right? Like maybe we'll follow all the steps and all the rules or whatever, but
It takes a
I
lot
just
to fire them
I think it's
under a
great
union.
that unions are there to protect, the majority. I just think that no
Hmm.
matter which way,
Hmm.
there's people taking advantage of the system, so
Oh,
that's the
100%.
part that I don't
Yeah,
like.
100%. But
Yeah.
I do suspect that Amazon did close their location simply
Oh,
because they
that
didn't
for
wanna.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. So
No doubt.
there was this big movement on Facebook that started, of course, because of, when that became known on the news, and, people were like, "Boycott Amazon, don't buy from Amazon, da, da, da," and I'm like,
Yeah.
But I need my cream and I want it tomorrow and I can get it from Amazon. I don't know if I could stop buying from Amazon. I That would take a lot of fucking effort for me. That would take a lot of effort.
I agree with you. There's too many it's just too easy. It's too easy.
Yeah.
I, like, constantly have things in my, my Amazon cart.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
I got the cutest little butter dish the other day.
Did you?
See, if we bug Mel about the what's it called? The
Online
auction
auction, yeah.
shopping, Amazon cart is my weakness.
I know, mine
She's
too.
gonna come home on Sunday to see this cute little butter dish that I bought.
And that sounds adorable. I can't believe you bought a butter dish. That's like something I
I
would do,
know.
not you, but that's cute. It's
It
good.
we've had this ugly ass plastic
Yeah.
butter dish because I think I told you Ginger broke the glass one when she jumped up on the counter
Yes,
to eat the butter.
that's right.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I had this, like, I went to Canadian Tire and got a plastic one, and we've been having that for the longest time, and it's ugly. It's
Yeah.
very ugly. So, I upgraded.
That's nice. Good, I'm glad. I'm
Mhm.
glad to hear it. I can't wait to see
Mhm.
that. So, let me ask you,
Yeah.
since we're kinda going through, topics, in society today, that's what
Yes.
it seems like this agenda has morphed into. Um, I'm a little confused about we were talking a little bit about Trump and his new I think we spoke about a little bit about this at the last episode,
Yeah.
because Trump was just sworn in, and that day that he was sworn in, he, made a bunch of policy changes, right? One of which
Yeah.
was there will only be two sexes recognized in the United States, male or female.
Genders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gender. That's it, right? Male or female. Um, it sounded like he was not in support of any surgery to change your gender, right? And so here's okay, and sorry, let me just say one more thing. Elon Musk, who is his, sidekick at the moment,
Yeah.
he's also very against uh gays, like very against. I think he's got a trans daughter, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And he's like, she's dead. Like there's just like she's dead to me. Like there's no,
God. Could you
interaction.
imagine
Yeah.
growing up with that man as your father?
Oh, for fuck's sake, no. But so here's my question, CeeLo, and I don't know if you have the answer to
Yeah.
this, but I'm hoping you have some insight. I don't know.
I have all the answers, yes.
I know. But there are some people that I know who are gay.
Oh my god!
I know. And they are in full support of Trump and Elon Musk. To the point where, there's like videos going around where they're showing Elon doing the Nazi salute. Have you seen that one yet?
Yes,
Okay.
I did see that from the inauguration,
Yes.
I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's doing this like Nazi salute thing or whatever. And and
He
this
was
one guy,
taking love from his heart. That's what
yeah,
he said he
and
was doing.
and flying it over to the
He was hailing it. Get it?
Sure. Yep.
Joke. Hailing
Mhm.
it.
Mhm. Gotcha,
Mm.
gotcha. But
Mm.
they're conspiracy theorists, these guys, I believe. Well, I don't believe. I know that they are because of the things that they used to post during COVID.
Yeah.
They're those folks that kind of believe in alternative things, right? Which is fine, whatever. But they posted this picture of all these other leaders who had, made a similar gesture, but you could easily tell that the pictures had been modified. Right? Like you could really see that it wasn't a true picture of, I don't even know who it was, Hillary Clinton, doing a salute or what, a Nazi salute or whatever, right? But anyway, so of course there were a lot of people commenting saying to the guy, you're fucking whacked. This is just stupid. How can you
Yeah,
see that
yeah,
it's fake?
everybody does this, yeah.
But the thing is though, what I don't understand is why would someone who is gay support Trump or Elon knowing that that's how they feel? I don't understand. CeeLo, do you know? Do you understand this?
Let me just give me a second, I'm just gonna call my gaze up, hold on.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep, no answers, don't got any answers for you there. Um, I honestly, I don't get
I don't
it
get it either.
either. I do feel like in the to us LGBTQ plus community
Yeah,
that even if you are a member of that community, you're
yeah.
not necessarily accepting everyone in that
No.
community,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so I think that there are people out there who may identify as one of those letters that don't feel like one of those other letters exists.
Yes,
And
actually
that alone that
yeah.
alone boggles my brain
Okay,
because if you are one of those letters, you're the people that have come before you and what people around you are fighting for are basic human rights for you, and you're different from the masses. But you only see that as for you and not for all the other letters. Like, I
yeah.
don't get that.
Okay,
I
I
honestly
think
don't get that.
I think you just answered my question. And you know why? That was your example there. I remember at one point, this same individual had gone on a rant about the gay pride parade that happens in Toronto and how
Yeah.
they now include an educate me on the proper terminology for all of it, but they've now started to include, different flags that represent different communities, like the lesbian community or the trans community or the actually our
Yeah.
creative director had put a bunch of so I should probably ask her. She had done a post on one of our Instagrams that had all the different
Mhm.
flags, right, that were represented. And
Mhm.
so he was doing a rant basically saying, I am not in agreement of them doing this. They're taking things too far. You can't fucking include everybody, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And he went on and
Include
on
it
and on.
up to me, but then exclude everybody else,
Right.
right?
So, yeah, exactly. So now that you just said that, that made me say, okay, now I think I might understand why this guy is saying what he's saying and being so supportive of Trump and Elon, because he's looking at it from his perspective only, selfishly. It's
Yep.
his self-centered view of what he believes is right and wrong, and he
Yeah,
ignores all the other negativity because he's only looking at it for
exactly.
what serves me. So he's
Yeah,
not looking at how that their thought process and their beliefs might impact his community going forward or somebody else's community. In his mind, he's
yeah,
thinking, I'm not trans, I'm a man. I'm male. I identify as male. So it doesn't affect me. Who gives a
right.
shit if it affects somebody who doesn't identify as male or
Yeah.
female and identifies as
Well,
they or something else,
and
right? Yeah.
in my mind, then you're just as I was gonna say just as bad, but
Yeah.
just as
Yeah.
closed-minded
Yeah.
and, um, homophobic as someone wearing a MAGA hat, for goodness sakes,
I
right? Like,
kind of
you
agree with
either
you.
have to be on the this is I don't very often go black and white on things, but I think you either have to be on the side of human rights are basic for everyone, regardless of how you identify, regardless of the color of your skin, of your gender,
Mm.
etc.
Mhm.
Or you're on the other side of that and there's exclusions for some people. And
Mhm.
so and I think that it's always a surprise to me. It always kind of hurts my heart a little to hear that someone in the community does feel that way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it happens all the time, and it
Yeah.
happens, I think, across all differences somehow, right? Like, even in the BIPOC community, I think that there's people out there who probably struggle and have to, fight the same thing sometimes, so
Mhm.
it's a sad state of affairs. Love is love, you know?
Yeah, I know, CeeLo, but, it's shocking how many people do not feel that way. Even
Yeah,
people who have been through similar challenges, who have had to deal with discrimination, and
yeah,
they still can't come out that other side saying, "I see a bigger picture now." And I think a lot of that
yeah,
has to do with probably narcissism is a big key, only being able to look at things through one viewpoint,
it's
one lens,
yeah,
blinders,
closed-minded.
closed-minded, lack of empathy, all those things that might lend themselves to somebody, not taking lessons from the past or lessons from life that have, kind
Yeah,
of
so
been there to try to
selfish.
change ways. Yeah. Yeah.
Selfish people there are
I
selfish
I
people
agree.
out there, sadly.
I agree.
But, in my mind, there's so many things about it. I think we kinda touched on the fact that I just can't even listen to him anymore, but
Yeah.
Trump, that is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's when I think about kids that are out there, trans kids and people struggling,
I know.
I don't know what they're gonna do, and I don't know where they're gonna find safety, and I hope that they find ways to reach out and find
Yeah.
love somewhere.
Yeah, agreed. There was so one of our previous guests, Weeza, she had put a very interesting post, and I'm just paraphrasing it here because I don't have it up in front of me, but it was something someone was defending Elon Musk, saying, "Yeah, but he's autistic, right? Like he's known to be autistic, so you have to, you know, take what he says with a grain of salt, blah blah blah." And one of the posts that she had put on Facebook was someone who is autistic who was talking and basically saying, "Look, it." don't don't insult us. You know, autism is on a spectrum. There are, some that are extremely high functioning. I
Oh,
know.
I see what you're saying. You're insulting autistic people
No.
everywhere by
Yeah.
giving Elon Musk a
Yes.
break.
That's what this guy, and I get what he was saying because
Yeah.
we have a lot
Total.
of autistic people in our family and,
Yeah.
our extended family as well. And it's no big, like, it's like, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not a big deal. It's,
Yeah.
so, but the thing is, and they're just like everybody else, and we are all the same. And, you know, they've got different personalities with certain things and different ways of learning things. And so do I. And,
Yeah.
like, look, I can't learn math, and that's just the way that my brain works. And there's nothing that I can do about it. Right. So we work around those things because we love
We
each
have
other.
to bring
We do.
yeah, we have
Math
to bring our
every
math
fucking time.
deficiencies
At least
there.
I did advanced math and not general, like some people on this podcast, but I'm not going to mention
Hey,
any names. But
you know
anyways, he was.
what? I can work an Excel spreadsheet like nobody
You
business, thank
can.
God.
That's because they have formulas in there for you. So
Exactly.
no, but I get what this guy was saying. He was like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Don't say that he, needs to be cut some slack because he's autistic. What you say is he's a fucking asshole who also just happens to be autistic. Like the
Well,
two are not
yeah, that can't be
the same.
why he's
No,
cut he's
no,
given
no,
slack for sure.
exactly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave you with
100%.
one thing that I thought was kind of interesting.
Okay.
So I somebody recommended a podcast for me.
Yeah.
It's called just a second, Tortoise. Okay, so the podcast itself is Tortoise Investigations, I think it's called. Okay, and they do like topics like that they investigate. Anyways, they had 3 episodes where they talked about Elon Musk and his spies. CeeLo, was it ever fucking interesting? So, just some highlights from that. Do you remember? I think it was 6 years ago. There were those kids in Thailand who got stuck in a cave.
Yes.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? Okay. And then
Yeah.
they flew in these expert cave divers to
Yeah.
help rescue them,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that was making news everywhere. So Elon, with his, I need to make sure that my penis looks really, really big. I'm going to come and try to save the day. He did what, like, what he normally does, which is I'm going to build a mini submarine and that's going to get those kids out. So he goes
I
and
think I remember that.
yeah, he gets his team together. They build this mini submarine. It goes there. One of the key divers, um, he basically said on the news when he was being interviewed there, he basically said, this is not going to work. It's not going to work. Right. Well, Elon was pissed. And then he launched this whole big attack at this fucking guy, hired these private investigators to try to prove that he was a pedophile so that he could say that the guy was a pedophile. And he literally, no, it was a big fiasco. And they had this
Not
guy on
they
the,
didn't he didn't hire them to prove that the guy was wrong or off his
no,
rocker or to prove that his science was gonna
yeah,
actually
just
work.
that he was a pedophile because he
He
wanted to
hired
take
them to
him down.
prove that he's a pedophile.
Yeah. He was dating Amber Heard at one point. After
Isn't that
her,
Johnny Depp's ex-wife?
yes,
I
after the
feel like I
trial with,
watched the trial.
yes, I watched
Yeah?
the trial too.
Okay.
I did too. But after the trial was over, she dated him for a period of time and he had her followed. He had people stationed outside of her place of residence to spy on her because he thought that she was cheating. And then when they broke up, he had these spies take all kinds of pictures of this guy that she was dating, this big Australian football player. Um, and he was giving these stories her actual address and like where she was
Oh my
located and had,
god.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
The guy's a
so
fucking sicko. So
what was the
listen
name?
to it.
It was a
Yes.
podcast that you listened to?
Yes, it's a podcast. I'm going to get you the specific name just a second. It's called
You
Tortoise
said
Investigates. Investigates. And these 3 episodes are called Elon's Spies. So if you Google Tortoise Investigates Elon's
okay,
Spies, you should
I
find it.
jotted it
And there's
down.
3 episodes. It's very interesting. I highly recommend you listen to it because it's just like, what a fucking sicko. So
Oh, 100%,
yeah, yeah.
100%. I feel like even anything where it's uncovering something about him, because I don't delve into any news on him
No.
specifically,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
feel like if somebody were to present me with some kind of documentary
yeah,
information, I'd be
yeah.
all over that. So
Oh, yeah,
I'll definitely
totally.
have a listen.
Yeah, yeah, definitely do that.
He's a whack job.
Oh, he is. This world's going to
Yeah,
shit. That's okay.
yeah,
Whatever. Anyways, it was nice
100%.
chatting with you.
It was good chatting with you too on our little we'll call it mixed tape because it's like a whole
It
mixed
is.
agenda of stuff. It's
It
just
is.
hot topics this week, guys, hot
I know.
topics.
I know. It's true. And we have to share our opinions because, it's what we do.
Total.
All right. Okay. Until next time. Thanks, CeeLo.
Talk
Thanks,
to you soon.
everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for taking a seat at the table today. We love our dinner guests.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow The Dinner Agenda on the podcast platform you use so that you don't miss any new episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Dinner Agenda.
We look forward to hearing your comments, questions, and even ideas you may have on future episodes.
Thanks for taking this journey with us.